Well,
another year has come and gone. 2024 was a big year, for various reasons I won't go into here. But one of the things I will go into is music.
I dig music.
2024 had some big releases. You had huge albums like Brat, the Chappell Roan album, and Kendrick Lamar's GNX. You had huge songs like Espresso, Not Like Us, Bar Song.
Come on, pour me out another shot of whiskey.
You had the rise of newcomers like Mg.kee and Tizo Touchdown. And let's not forget the emo albums like Post-Human Next Gen from Bring Me the Horizon. 2024 was an overall good year for music. And I know what you're thinking.
Trevor, what were you listening to? We're all just dying to know.
Well, let me tell you.
nice work, Lieutenant. Very festive.
Hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm Trevor and I am eternally uncool. I make videos about music, music culture, and anything that interests me. But mostly music right now. So if that sounds like something you'd be into, then I highly recommend subscribing to the channel and watching the rest of this video. Like I said in last year's New Year's video, I've been keeping playlists of all of my favorite songs of each year since 2015. I wish I could tell you why I started doing this, but I just can't remember. And these playlists are packed with songs. Except 2015. There's so many songs on each of these playlists that I'll go back and click a song at random and just think,
What the hell was I thinking?
But there's also songs that have stuck with me. These are the songs that have become my favorites. The ones that define that particular year for me. And these are the kind of songs we're going to be talking about today.
Oh, no thanks.
Now, depending on when I get this video out, it's New Year's. And what's a better way to ring it in than listening to some random 30-year-old music nerd give his unsolicited opinion? As of the writing of this script, my 2024 playlist has just under 500 songs on it. But I've managed to cut those 500 songs down to my top 10 favorite. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy, but I think I have a good list going. These songs range from pop punk and emo to rap and pop. They're just kind of all over the place, to be honest. Ranking these songs was tough. So I didn't necessarily put them in any kind of specific order. But despite that, I think they're all special and great in their own ways. So with all that being said, grab a drink, grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get into the video. This is a bit of a late entry, but I had to include it. 2024 was an absolutely gigantic year for Kendrick Lamar. From his absolutely viral beef with Drake, to the song of the summer being Not Like Us, to the release of his critically acclaimed album GNX, 2024 felt like the year of K-Dot. I've always liked Kendrick Lamar's music. The first time I really got into him was around 2017, 2018 when he released Humble. And ever since then, I've been keeping up with what he's been doing. And boy, was there a lot to keep up with this year. I'm not gonna go into Kendrick's whole beef with Drake. It's all been covered by channels much more well-equipped to talk about it than I am. But this beef led to Kendrick Lamar stepping out of the shadows and releasing one of the biggest albums of the year. Hell, probably of the decade. And I think my favorite song to come off of this album is the lead single, Squabble Up.
I feel good, get the fuck out my face. Look good, but she don't got no ties.
The whole song is just perfect. Kendrick really doesn't disappoint. It manages to encompass different styles of California hip-hop. It sampled an obscure 80s freestyle that shed light on the freestyle's artist. And he manages to call out other rappers for being disingenuous without even naming names. And the music video is super cool with its homage to The Roots' The Next Movement video, tributes to rappers Nate Dogg and Mac Dre, as well as references to Menace to Society, Isaac Hayes' Black Moses, and Ice-T's Power. Overall, this is just a really good song. Very well crafted, incredibly catchy. I think the only reason it's so low on this list is because it came out later than the other songs and I didn't have as much time to just really sit with it. Another rapper who I've been a fan of for a long time, who released not one, but 2 albums this year, was Childish Gambino.
So, I think the question on everybody's mind is, why are you so lame?
Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover, is a jack of all trades, a true renaissance man. He started out his career by making comedy sketches on YouTube with Derek Comedy, wrote for 30 Rock, starred on beloved sitcom Community, before becoming a massive star with albums like Because the Internet and Awaken My Love.
Childish Gambino, more childish than you think.
You know, for a long time, he wasn't really making any music. He had the massive hit This Is America in 2018, and the album 3/15/20 in 2020, but he was mostly acting in movies and working on his show Atlanta. His Childish Gambino persona was kind of put on the back burner. But in 2024, he released At a Vista, which he described as a finished version of 3/15/20. His return was met with enthusiasm from fans, myself included. But then he dropped a bombshell on us. Not only was he releasing another album in 2024, but also a short film to go along with it, combining all of Donald Glover's talents. Bando Stone and the New World, the soundtrack and album to the short film of the same name, mixes a lot of different genres. Not only is there the classic nerdy Childish Gambino style hip-hop, but there's also some soul and R&B, reminiscent of the Awaken My Love era, as well as some more poppier and rock moments. But the standout track for me was the lead single, Lithonia.
I feel liberated, over-medicated.
This became my go-to song to get me pumped up to drive to work. Which is a sad statement, but it's true. It's an odd song, to be honest. It's not really rap or R&B necessarily. It's actually kind of more of a pop-punk tune. Okay, maybe not pop-punk, maybe a little bit more alternative rock. You hear it in the angsty lyrics and Ludwig Göransson's guitar work. This song is just a great mix of soulful vocals and rock instrumentation that calls to mind something like Fall Out Boy. It's high energy and punchy, and it doesn't overstay its welcome, being just under 3 minutes. Honestly, it's almost perfect. This year, I got really into Marianas Trench. I got so into them that I made not 1, but 2 videos about them. I almost made 3, but we don't have to get into that right now. I became a pretty big fan of the band's brand of theatrical emo pop. And so when they released their latest album, Haven, in August of 2024, I knew that at least one of the songs off of the album was gonna be on my year-end list. It was kind of hard to choose which one to include on this list. You had great songs like Ancient History, I'm Not Getting Better, Down to You, but I think the song that stuck with me the most was Lightning and Thunder.
Now we're falling, we'll never ever be the same. Fate is calling, it's turning, burning in my veins.
It's just this empowering call to adventure that talks about the changes in life, both good and bad. And it does this all with a catchy chorus and great performances all around. There's that classic Mariana sound mixed with some 80s inspired synth and a little bit of glam rock. This song will definitely be one that MT fans remember. It's just so catchy and fun to listen to, all while having a good message. Definitely one I'll be coming back to. I am ashamed to inform you that I use Spotify.
I know.
And just like everyone else, I hate the ads on Spotify. But I'm not willing to give Spotify money to not pay their artists with. So I just kind of put up with it. Sometimes the ads are so stupid and ridiculous that I get a little bit of a laugh. And sometimes the ads are promoting a band or artist's new song or album. Usually these won't catch me because it'll usually be just like a random C-tier pop artist that I'm not really into. But around summertime, I kept getting an ad for the same song that just stuck in my head. This song was Fuck the Bad Vibes by Swedish electronic metalcore band Solence. Now, this song struck me because it was so positive. There's not a lot of positive music out there right now. At least not as overtly positive as Fuck the Bad Vibes. The message of the song is exactly what the title says. Fuck the bad feelings in life. They also state flat out that what they want you to take away from this song is that it's okay to feel okay. And I think that's a pretty good thing to put out there. Especially in a year like 2024. We all need a good pump-up song to get us in the good mindset to do what we have to do. Whether it be a workout or just going to work. And for me, this year, that song was Fuck the Bad Vibes. I put it in my commuting playlist, and anytime it would come up, I would just get so ready to just go through another 8 hours of back-breaking work and just keep reminding myself to fuck the bad vibes. Youngblood is an artist that I think gets an undeserved amount of shit. I think this has a lot to do with his emo punk aesthetic that a lot of people see as disingenuous due to his association with Disney early on in his career. Or maybe it's that a lot of people see him as just a pop artist with colored hair. But I think he's surprisingly deeper than a lot of people give him credit for. And I think a prime example of this kind of introspection is the song Breakdown.
Got me fighting its changes, tearing my heart out, wanting to die before I'm living my life.
Breakdown sees Youngblood exploring themes of depression and anxiety, which is nothing new for him. But one of the things that really struck me about this song was the breakbeat drumming underneath. I love that kind of burial style, UK garage, breakbeat type of electronic music. I never really heard anything like that in a Youngblood song. It was cool. Another thing that really struck me about this song was how much I related to it as a 29-year-old man. We all feel hopeless sometimes, stuck in our own heads. We all have moments where we're like,
I'm gonna fucking lose it. I'm gonna break down.
But towards the end of the song, we get this spoken word monologue where Dom tells us that everything's gonna be okay.
Don't forget to put your feet in the grass. Tell your mum that you love her. Say you cleaned up your act. Give money to the homeless man. Help him buy a bar.
And that's really what made me love this song. It's so life-affirming. I'm gonna be honest. I have nothing against pop music. Some of the most influential artists of all time have been pop artists.
But
A lot of pop music is shit, especially today. A lot of it is so formulaic and homogenized and overprocessed by labels to make a quick buck.
But
I think we're entering a new era of good pop music. And one of the leading artists of this new era is Sabrina Carpenter.
Please, 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 don't prove I'm right.
Who would have thought that the Walmart brand Sam Puckett from the terrible Boy Meets World spin-off would become one of the biggest pop stars of all time? I'm honestly very impressed by Sabrina Carpenter's career trajectory within the last few years. In 2024, she had 2 massive hits with Espresso and Please Please Please, the latter of which being one of my favorite songs of this year. The song is just catchy. It gets stuck in your head. And isn't that what a pop song is supposed to do? It's definitely one of the songs that defines 2024. Pilots really knocked it out of the park this year with the release of Clancy. Not only was it an improvement on Scaled and Icy, continuing the already established lore, but it saw the duo doing everything that they do best. It was a solid album with several great songs on it. It was hard to choose which one I liked most. Do I pick the high-energy punk of Last Semester, the heartfelt balladry of The Craving, or maybe the more mellow Backslide? Out of all the songs on the album, the one I kept coming back to the most was Midwest Indigo. I don't know what it is that made this song, out of every other song on the album, stick with me the most. Maybe it was the synth line, or maybe it was the indie pop vibe that really speaks to my hipster sensibilities. Or the lyrical themes about isolation and the struggles to connect with another human. Honestly, it's probably an amalgam of all of those things. But to me, this was the standout track on the album. One of the artists I got really into this year was Tizo Touchdown. He's a rapper slash singer who mixes rap rock and kind of emo moments with modern hip-hop production. He's really weird and unique. At one point sporting nails in his hair and wearing a big, like, football thing. Whatever, football pads, whatever they're called. I don't know sports. And he would post on Instagram using just post-it notes. He's an odd guy, which is why I think I liked him so much. He released a really great album last year called How Do You Sleep? But he's mainly been a featured artist for people like Tyler the Creator and Lil Yachty and Drake. But I really think he's gonna make a name for himself in the coming years. Especially since he had a song in one of the biggest movies of 2024, Despicable Me 4. The song is just straight energy from the get-go. There's also that bright and sunny feeling that reminds me of another song from the Despicable Me universe, Happy by Pharrell. But it's also a song that I can relate to on a personal level. The lyrics are pretty interesting for a song in a kid's movie. It's pretty much a song about wanting people to fuck off for just a minute. Just stop. Sometimes you just want to be by yourself and not have to talk to people because it's none of their business. I can relate to that. And I feel like a lot of you watching can also relate to it. You know, as if it wasn't obvious, I am a very nostalgic person. And not just when it comes to music. I don't have to listen to a song from my childhood to feel nostalgia. Sometimes it comes from a taste, or a smell, a location even. But most of the time it is through art and media, like music. Sometimes a song can be brand spanking new and still be nostalgic. That's where Mg.kee comes in with his song, Are You Looking Up?
Are you looking up? Why? You wanna go then, baby, go why?
Mg.kee is another artist that got a fair amount of attention this year, with the release of his debut album, 2 Star and the Dream Police, a collection of perfect bedroom pop. And the album, as well as Mg.kee himself, got a lot of praise. Rolling Stone, Pitchfork, Dazed and Confused, all praised the lo-fi dreaminess of the songs. I don't remember how I heard about Mg.kee, but I know I looked him up and was immediately struck by his unique sound. It was very lo-fi, kind of like Mac DeMarco by way of My Bloody Valentine. But there was also this singer-songwriter vibe, like James Taylor, that really sparked a feeling of nostalgia within me. Are You Looking Up feels like a song that defines a time and place, or a moment in time. This is the kind of song I see myself coming back to multiple times. It's perfect for those reflective moments in life, or even just casual listening. It's not too heavy, but it's also not devoid of substance or meaning. Brilliant song. You know, I discovered a lot of new artists this year. I'm the kind of person who likes to find emergent artists that my friends and family haven't heard of yet. Does it give me a sense of superiority? Yes. Is that a sad way to live life? Maybe. We don't have to unpack all of that right now. What we do have to do is talk about my number one spot of 2024. And it's a good one. What's better than a love song? That's right, a love song that's actually about something
A lot darker.
Take It's Not Living If It's Not With You by the 1975. A song that on the surface could be about not being able to live without the love of your life. But it's really about heroin. Or famously, Every Breath You Take by The Police. It's not a song about wanting to be close to someone, but rather a song about surveillance. And just like those two songs, my number one pick has a similar meaning. It sounds cute and bouncy, like a sweet little synth pop love song, but it's really about parasocial relationships. This song is Cheerleader by Porter Robinson.
It's not fair.
I had heard about Porter Robinson from several music pages that I follow on Instagram. This was around July when he released his album Smile. They described it as emo synth reminiscent of something like the Postal Service. So I was immediately into it. I looked up some songs and Cheerleader was the one that struck me the most. It's such a bouncy and punchy song. Everything about it just feels good. Despite how into music I am, there are very few songs that I can listen to multiple times a day and not get tired of. This is one of those songs. It's nostalgic in the same way as Are You Looking Up, but it also feels like something I haven't heard before. And that's a great feeling to elicit from a music fan like me. This is probably the song I came back to the most. And every time I listened to it, I loved it more. It's energizing, it's catchy, and it's fun. What more could you want in a song? What do you think of my favorite songs of 2024? What are your favorites? Let me know in the comments. That's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then I highly recommend wishing the like button a Happy New Year and sharing this video with everyone you know. I am a small, independent content creator who pretty much does everything on his own. I don't make any money off these videos, I do it just from the pure joy of it. But every like, every comment, every share, any interaction with this video at all just really helps me out a lot. With all that being said, thank you for watching. As always, I'm Trevor. Stay uncool. And that is the end of the video. Happy New Year.